Yeah, what's up, everybody? Happy Halloween. It's this spooky edition of Ringside Report MMA. Tonight on the show, Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva going down this Saturday night. UFC Vegas 63, Kattar versus Allen. We're going to preview those fights. And what's next for the winners at UFC 280? Let's get Freddie and AJ in here. Let's start the show.
Let's go!
Roar! Roar! You guys are no match for King Koopa. Hey, AJ.
Captain AJ.
Captain AJ. Do you know who I am?
You kind of look like something from Japan or something. Am I right?
You don't know who the character is.
Who is it, Captain Crunch?
You don't know
What is
the
it?
name. Really?
Give me a guess. Give me a
I'm
hint.
surprised.
Give me a hint.
He's Mario's arch nemesis.
Oh, yeah. From The Sopranos.
What?
That noise is annoying, AJ.
Yeah, stop with the fan.
Dude, it's fucking hot here, man. I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you one thing. Hair is
No.
annoying. Now that I had to put on hair, I'm telling you, I'm glad I'm bald. Holy smokes, man. Captain AJ.
You're not getting out of this. You're not getting out of
Captain
this.
AJ Parrott.
He's
What?
Mario's arch nemesis. He's always kidnapping Princess Peach. How do
Yeah,
you
I
not
get it, I
know
get it.
who this guy is? I can't
Internet
believe this.
browser.
Well, no, it's okay. He doesn't have to Google it. I just wanted to start the show showing how, I don't know, out of touch of a different generation. I'm not really sure. I think out of touch. Because I know people older than you who know exactly who I am.
I know the name, man. It's just
I'm
gonna
really
hit me. I know it.
surprised.
Hold on a sec.
I'm really surprised you don't know.
Wait. I got it. I know what it is. It came
You're
to me. Little
Googling
mate.
it.
By the way, this is Little Mate. Notorious. My little mate. Yoshi.
No.
It's not?
No, I'm not Yoshi.
I was so confident it was Yoshi, man.
No, I was Yoshi last year. This is Yoshi. See this guy?
Yeah.
That's
That's right.
See, I'm not Yoshi.
He looks
Yoshi's
more like-
Mario's friend. Have you
Yeah,
never
he looks
played a
more fun.
Nintendo game? What's going on
Yeah,
with
I
you
have,
over there?
man. I don't remember the names.
How do you
I think
not
AJ
remember the
remembers. I can't
names?
remember what I had for breakfast
These
yesterday.
are classic characters that have been around for over 30 years.
Wait. Give me a hint, man. Give me a letter. Speak to me, man.
He's the king of the Koopas.
Who? Elvis?
He's got children.
Children? We're getting where?
Koopalings.
Into John Jones country. Where?
You know,
What?
He's always kidnapping Princess Peach.
Sounds
His
like
name
John
starts
Jones.
with a B.
With a B. Ben Askren.
It's Bowser. I'm Bowser.
Oh, Bowser.
I'm
Bowser.
Koopa. Yeah, I'm
Man, I
Bowser.
know- Man, I would have never known that, man. I thought it was Yoshi. I
I
remember
know
the
you
name
said
Yoshi,
Yoshi.
and I thought that was it.
Fred, isn't it
Bad.
weird that AJ doesn't know who Bowser is? I thought
I
everybody
know
knew
Bowser.
Bowser.
And Blue. Man, some of the best
He's
comedians
from
in
the
Montreal.
he's
Bowser
from
and
like
Blue,
the
man.
Pong generation, man. That's before his. That's after. Like AJ was already old.
Space Invaders
What?
and stuff. That's what AJ
Hey, I
was
love
doing.
Space Invaders, man.
Yeah,
Now we're
see?
talking.
There you go. That's AJ's
Frogger.
style.
Frogger, man.
Older video games.
Classic game.
I feel like Mario and Bowser have been around. I mean, the first Mario Bowser game, Super Mario Brothers, came out in 1985 with the original Nintendo Entertainment System, and that was
I'm sure I was playing it,
37
man.
years. That's 37 years ago. I'm surprised you don't remember. I mean, this is what
I
I'm
remember
saying.
the character.
I'm just
I remember the
baffled
character.
by the fact that you don't know. Bowser's been around since 1985. You don't know about Bowser, but that's
Listen,
okay.
man,
You know
tell me
about MMA.
1985, I'll tell you. I remember Mario, of course, but I don't remember the characters, man. They were like flat as pancakes. Who can remember the... Man, I'm telling you, the graphics weren't that great. How can I remember? I thought it was Yoshi. Excuse me, but I remember 85. Boy George.
Yoshi wasn't around in the
I
85
remember
version.
Donkey Kong.
Yoshi only came out with Mario and Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, which I think was in 91.
Why are you busting on Captain AJ?
Well,
How am I
I'm just
supposed to
saying, you're
remember
out of touch. You don't know
that? You remember
your
Donkey Kong?
Mario. Of course, I know about Donkey Kong. Don't test my Mario knowledge. You know me. If you guys know me, you know one thing. I love Nintendo, Kanye West, pro wrestling,
Elon
and
Musk.
so on. I don't like Elon Musk so much,
No,
but I
we
do
love
like
Elon Musk.
Kanye West, who we could talk
Elon's the
about
champion,
later. You know, I'm
Dave.
also Jewish. I'm also a Jewish man who still loves Kanye West. So I mean, figure that one out.
So
Still got
tell me
love.
what you think of this, okay? I'm a customer of Apple Music. I pay for my music. I don't steal it. So I go through my playlists today, and I see Kanye West Essential. So I click on it, and it's basically an Apple playlist that I saved, you know? And when I click on it, it's not there no more. No more
What?
Kanye West Essential. Yeah. I don't
Is there
know,
still Kanye West music on Apple?
Yeah.
There must be.
Yeah,
though, right?
his albums are all there and all that.
Yeah. So that's not a big deal. I don't know how Apple Music works. I've got the YouTube music. But, yeah. I don't know. He's saying a lot of wild stuff. Dino Steak says Super Mario 3, one of the best platformers of all time. Oh, yeah. Super Mario 3?
Pac-Man still beats all of them, man. Let's
No,
be
it
honest.
doesn't. Fred, what's your
Oh,
favorite
yes,
Mario
it
game?
does.
Do you have
First
one?
one.
The first
I don't
one? You're not a big Mario guy either, are you?
Thanks.
You know who these guys
Like-
are, but you're not a big fan.
I have a picture somewhere I would need to find of when I got my first Nintendo. It was on a Christmas, and I didn't expect it, man. When I opened that box and I saw it was a Nintendo, my face was like, and I loved it, man. I loved my first Nintendo. But I've always been more of a sports type of gamer. So, you know, as soon as ice hockey, RBI baseball, Tecmo Bowl, those were my Nintendo games. But I did play the Marios also.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but
For
Freddie,
some-
let's be honest.
I've
man.
always played the Mario games. Even the latest Mario game, Super Mario Odyssey, on Nintendo Switch. I played the hell out of that game. I love that game. Fantastic.
Man,
I
I'm
played
gonna
all the
tell you
Mario
something.
games. Mario 3D World. Super Mario World is my favorite Mario game by far. The one on the Super Nintendo, that game, I could beat that game backwards, forwards, 100%, finished. I love that game. That's a classic game. That's my favorite
Listen,
Mario
man, I'm
game.
going to tell you, you know what smashes all of them? Even Pac-Man, and I love Pac-Man. It's Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man in the arcade version is the
Man.
best. I would smash you guys hands down on that.
You're not. I don't think you would, because you're not really
Oh, yeah,
good at
tell
video
you,
games. You don't
arcade-
really play video
but
games.
arcade
You know.
games, yes. Pinball, man, yeah. Pinball
Yeah,
wizard, man.
I
That's what
don't
they used to
believe
call
you
me.
though. Here's the thing.
Huh?
Like the more
Huh?
games you play, you're not like a gamer. You know, like I wouldn't consider myself a gamer, but I'm definitely more of a gamer than you are. You know,
Yeah,
so
but with
no
today's
matter
games,
what the
dude, I'm
video
talking
game,
like old school.
no matter what the video
Tetris,
game, AJ, I just have video
Rocker.
game skills that you don't have. You just don't have those skills.
The challenge is on, dude. Miss
Yeah,
Pac-Man,
challenge is
arcade
on.
level.
Sure,
It's-
I'll
it's
beat you
fun.
at any game you want to
no,
play.
no, no, no,
Any
no, no, no,
arcade
fuck
game
that.
you want to
Fuck
play,
that.
I will beat you.
Let's make
no,
like
no.
a best of 7. We'll choose
Yeah.
7 different games.
Yeah,
No,
and
no,
you
no,
gotta
no,
give me
not-
like you gotta give me
none of
one
these
round
weird
to
games that
figure
we're
out
playing
because I don't
nowadays.
know all these. I don't know all these old timey games that you're playing. You know, so you got to give me like a round to figure out like what I'm supposed to do. But once I figure out,
I'll give you Mortal
once I
Kombat.
figure
How's
out
that sound?
Mortal Kombat,
Man, you're
What
gonna get
was the
smashed
game?
on that.
Mortal Kombat
AJ,
3
we
right
do a
now.
Mortal
Come
Kombat.
over, I will smash you, and we could do it on.
no.
We could do it live on YouTube, and I will smash you. Let's go.
I'll
Mortal
beat all the
Kombat.
guys at
Well, listen, man,
NBA
I haven't
Jam.
played it. I
You're
haven't
gonna
played
come
it
over
online.
here.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
do it, man.
smash you. You come over here.
Arcade
You're gonna
version,
come
man,
over
it would
here.
be-
I'm gonna do the scorpion thing at you. Scorpion's
No,
gonna bring
bro.
you in with his harpoon. I'm gonna do an
Get
uppercut,
over here.
and I'm gonna flawless victory your ass. Okay? You don't know about this.
Get over
You don't know about
here.
this
All right,
life.
man. All right.
So
I'm
what was
telling
the
you.
arcade that George was playing? You know, with that crossing the street. What was that game? In
Frogger,
Seinfeld.
Frogger.
the
That's
best. Man.
Frogger. Okay.
Yeah, I could beat AJ at Frogger too.
No,
For
no.
sure.
Whoa.
For
Easy
sure,
there,
AJ.
man. Now you're getting into
Come on,
dangerous
bro.
territory.
You're in big
You're
trouble
getting
with
into
me.
dangerous territory, man.
I'd also beat you at Splatoon and any other Nintendo Switch game you want to play. I'd smash you at all those games. Mario
I used
Golf,
to remember Moonraker,
Mario Party.
Asteroids for sure, man.
All right. So we
Who
got
plays Mario Golf when you could play
Or the
2K23?
best. I'm gonna tell you what I was good at. I was good at-
the Mario
listen to
Golf, the new Mario Golf game for Nintendo Switch is fantastic.
Get
So
down,
good.
Get down, Connor. I'm gonna say this: Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I played that thing like there was no tomorrow, man. I
But
was
you
so good.
can't
I
play
could
against
smash-
somebody else. So
Hey, easy there, Freddie.
mean
What the
much.
hell
Yeah,
happened, man?
And I don't even think you could beat Mike Tyson in that game.
What?
Yeah.
You're insulting Captain AJ?
Mm-hmm. Oh, now guys are saying that they could beat us at Mortal Kombat. And that Dino Steak says he could do the 49% combo with Cabal and Mario Kart. Mortal Kombat 3. Nice, nice.
So let's do it, man. We should get a network game competition going.
We have it going. All you have to do is come over here, and I'll play video games with you, and I'll beat you. We have it. We could do it.
Dino Steaks could come in. We could do it like across the globe, man.
We could do it online. We could have people online. Yeah.
Round robin, man. UFC 1. Let's do it.
UFC 1. Oh, we should play EA MMA. That game was sick. Oh, my God. So good.
Submission!
What? You didn't like that game, Fred? That game was great. You like the UFC games? I haven't really played them.
No?
I played like the first 2, maybe.
Yeah.
Because they gave it to me, so I played it.
The THQ ones, not the EA ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got those for free, too. They're all right.
I know. He's in,
right.
man.
Jake Paul and Anderson Silva coming up on Saturday. So this is our Halloween edition. AJ, some sort of pirate. I'm, of course, Bowser.
No, not just some kind of pirate, dude.
He's some kind of pirate.
And I'm Pedro Martinez. I'm just not allowed to do blackface.
Yeah.
Fred is apparently Pedro Martinez in Expo's era, even though I don't remember Pedro being a Waylon Jennings fan, but that's okay. The T-shirt doesn't really match, and that's not an official Expos cap either, but, you know, we let Fred slide. I told Fred to get all dressed up, but I guess he wasn't ready. He didn't have his costume ready.
For Freddy, man.
He's got a costume.
I thought
on Monday on Halloween.
5-mile-an-hour fastball at you, man.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
Right between the eyes, man.
Just like Pedro.
So, AJ, you're your hero, Johnny Depp's? Johnny Depp, man.
Oh, yeah, man. No one's shitting on my bed. That's for sure. That's what Johnny says from now on.
Okay. Cool.
Listen, I watched that trial, man.
Why are you talking about that now?
I could have been.
Oh
I could have been like straight up having a podcast just talking about like the day ongoings with that trial. I watched every minute of the Johnny Depp trial.
Amber Heard?
That Amber Heard,
that'd be like if Lucy dresses as Amber Heard and you as Johnny Depp, man, I'm going to pass Halloween with you.
Oh my God!
She won't be sleeping on my bed. But the thing is that listen, man, Amber Heard, listen, good-looking girl. I'll give her that.
Why are you talking about crazy? Amber Heard, man? This is supposed to be a nice, lighthearted Halloween show. Now you're talking about domestic violence trials and shit. Get out of here, bro.
What are you talking about?
There was a dog that shit on the bed. That's so crazy, man.
The dog has like 2-inch legs. It could jump
I'm telling you. History will prove me right. Johnny Depp is a bad guy. Amber Heard was an innocent victim. Johnny Depp is a bad guy. Amber Heard was an innocent victim. History will prove me right. In time, I will be correct.
Right on the first part. I'm not sure about the second.
I'm right about both.
Johnny Depp, number 1.
I'm right about both. I'm right about both.
No, you're. I'm gonna tell you what you're right about.
Hey, AJ. Right. Hey, AJ, let me ask you something. You know that head you have behind you, the white head there?
Yeah.
The skeleton head there?
Which skeleton head?
Okay, turn around, dumbass.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The head with the eyes.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah.
What? Well, this was like, you like that, by the way?
Do you know who that is?
Well, let's hope it's
nobody related. It's just like the culture that AJ doesn't know about. AJ doesn't know who that is, right? Yeah, it's just funny to me that you have certain things that you don't even know what they are. What's that guy's name? What's that guy's name?
Pumpkin?
No.
Pumpkin something? Smashing Pumpkin? I don't know what.
Fred, do you know his name?
What's the name? What the hell is going on? Is this a
Fred,
trick
you don't
question?
know that guy's name?
What the hell is going on here?
That's Jack Skellington, bro.
Who?
From Nightmare Before Christmas. That's like the best Halloween movie. Come on, guys. Come on.
No. You know the best Halloween
Jack
movie,
Skellington.
Man. Come on, dude.
See, Timothy Williams knew that was Jack Skellington. We know about Jack Skellington. That guy's a legend.
I've never heard about this guy, man.
Have you never seen Nightmare Before Christmas? Ooh,
Listen,
Fred,
man,
have you not
been
seen
to an
this
Italian-
movie?
Have you been to an Italian Christmas? Sometimes
Yeah,
it becomes a nightmare.
long time ago. But
That's a good one. The music from that movie, so good. What a good soundtrack. What a cool movie.
Is this
You
a
never
joke? Or is it
seen
real?
Nightmare Before Christmas? Tim Burton, tremendous film.
Right, I know
So
Tim
good.
Burton, yeah. I have to see it. Maybe. I can't
Nightmare
remember.
Before Christmas. It's very
Listen, man.
good.
Is it a comedy?
I mean, it's like a kids movie.
Dude, I'm talking real horror, man. None of that kid stuff, man.
Well,
Freddy
you know,
Krueger, number one.
I never seen any of those.
Listen,
I'm
you
not
know what
interested in
freaked
that.
me out? You know what killed me, man? The other night, so I'm watching all like these Halloween movies coming up. I know this is a UFC MMA show, but listen, hear me out.
We will
So I'm
talk
watching,
about
like,
MMA and UFC and Anderson
very
Silva.
shortly.
It's
Listen to
coming
this.
up soon, I
That's
promise.
That's a Halloween horror coming up. But I'm gonna tell you something. So I'm watching like all these movies, and I'm watching Freddy Krueger and all this, and I'm like, something's wrong with this movie, man. It doesn't. Something wrong, man. It doesn't seem scary. Freddy looks a little bit fucked up. He doesn't look as scary as. Then I'm like looking, and people look too modern in it, and I'm like, something's not right, man. Freddy didn't have that shit. And then I realized they made a remake on Freddy Krueger. What kind of bullshit is that? Who makes them? Like, seriously. You know, it's like remaking The Godfather. I swear to God, man, they ever do that, it's going to be a Hollywood nightmare. I'm going down there myself. Not as Jack Sparrow. It's like fucking New
Going
Jack
down
City.
where? Shut up,
Hollywood,
AJ.
man.
Hollywood.
Don't ever mess around with some movies. I
AJ's
can't
going to
believe they-
Hollywood to stop production of a movie. What? Why? Fucking
I swear to
ridiculous,
God,
man.
I would
What are you
call
talking about?
Harvey. Listen,
You're
I would
crazy.
call Harvey Keitel and be Harvey. It's AJ. Yeah, I know it's like 3 in the morning, but listen, dude, you cannot be part of that movie because I know they're gonna try to recruit like all some old school guys into a new version. Do not fuck up classics. That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking much. You want to fuck up something? I mean, they tried to do it Home Alone. They fucked up. You don't
What
do
do you
that
mean?
shit, dude.
What do you mean?
They made another version with another kid. This was
What?
They made a
you know,
couple of them.
Yeah,
They made a
like,
couple
come
of them.
on.
They're not bad.
You don't
If you
do-
go on Disney
Come on,
Plus,
Freddie.
go there.
Come on,
Watch
Mac.
them all with the family.
I almost lost my
Nah, if
wig.
Macaulay Culkin's not in it, I'm not
The
interested.
first one's the best.
Yeah,
of
man.
course. The first one's the best.
I like Lost in New York, too.
Yeah,
Lost in New York
first
was
one
good.
is-
Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Tell me.
Just don't do that shit, man. Just don't do it. Why?
don't do
You
it.
wasted like maybe a half an hour to 40 minutes. I'm watching this, and I'm like, something doesn't seem right here. Everything seems too modern. And fucking Freddy, it's like I hadn't seen a Freddy Krueger movie in a long time. I'm like, something's wrong with Krueger. Something's wrong with this guy. And then I find out, they remade it. What a disappointment, man.
I don't know.
All to
I'm not
say is-
into those movies. I've never seen
Listen.
a Halloween movie,
What?
a Freddy Krueger movie, a Jason
Krueger, not
movie.
Krueger, man. That's the porn.
I've
But,
never seen
listen.
any of these. I saw the
Freddy
movie
Goes
Freddy
Krueger.
Got Fingered with Tom Green. That was all right. Seen that. All right, guys.
I mean, your
Yeah, I told
remake, AJ, is from 2010, man. It's already like 12 years old.
What? It sucked. Are you
AJ's a little
serious?
late on the trends. I don't
Yeah,
know
it
if you
was horrible,
noticed.
though.
In a couple years, he'll be telling us, "Hey guys, have you seen this Bowser character? So crazy! Have you played this Mario Brothers game? I think it's new." Fucking guy, out to lunch. I like all
AJ
the
Pirate.
Nightmare Before Christmas shout-outs on the chat. The guys in the chat are down with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the best one, man.
Well, it's for kids, but it's a good creepy Halloween movie for kids. It's like kid appropriate, but a little
I
bit
think
scary.
I've seen it. I think I've seen it and thought it was weird. Not very good.
I think
Sorry.
maybe you were too old for it when it came out, though,
Timothy!
Fred.
Probably.
Like, it came out when I was still a kid, so it was like, a good movie for me. But you were probably a teenager, and you were too cool at that point.
I like what the guy said.
And AJ was like a fully... AJ was like my age when that movie came out, which is crazy.
What year was it?
I don't know, probably 95 or something. I was
Dude, in
10.
95, man.
I was 10, you were 25, I mean, I'm not really joking.
I'm telling
You were
these guys,
roughly
man.
25, right?
Listen, I'm trying to think. 95.
Let's see.
what
When I was
doing?
10, you were
I was
about
doing
22
some,
years
pretty
old.
wild stuff.
Yeah, you were
Take
about
it
22.
easy there, Dave.
What? It's true. I was just thinking the other day, I was like, 30 years ago, if AJ was as like a close friend to me as he is today, it'd be super weird. Because 30 years ago I was like 7 and AJ was in his 20s. You know, it'd be weird.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, AJ?
Me and my wife say
listen,
the same
man, I'm gonna
thing
tell you something.
Yeah, right, Fred. Yeah.
Like me and my wife, we have 10 years difference, and sometimes I go, "Oh, I used to work like close to where your parents lived," and we're like, "Yeah, but if we would have met back there, it would have been weird because I was 20 and you're 10."
Yeah, it would have been a little weird. Now it's fine. Now it's all normal. You know.
Yeah, now it's fine, man. 45, 35, perfect.
It works for me.
Perfect,
Dino Steak says the movie came out in 1993. It got 8.4 on a Metacritic user score, which is pretty high, I think. It's a good
I gotta
movie.
watch it then. I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's fun
Listen,
to
I
watch
just
with
saw a
your
comment.
kids.
I saw a comment from Timothy. He said the same thing, man. It's a slap to the face. The remake of the stupid Freddy Krueger movie. Not stupid. I love Freddy Krueger. His original movies were the best, man. You know, no walking in the halls. But the remakes, man. Why do they kill it, man? Why? Like, does anybody like?
I don't get it.
Really
Who's the good guy in these movies? Is it the Freddy Krueger or is it the guy, the kids
Freddy.
he's killing?
No, Freddy's
Couldn't
cool,
tell you.
man. I'm with Freddy, man.
I don't
You know
know.
what
I've
I
never
love?
seen it.
I love
What?
the Geico commercial where they're like in a horror movie and they're like, "Where should we hide?" And they're like, "In the car, we could run away." And then he goes, "No, let's go hide behind the saws." You know, so like stupid
Yeah.
decisions.
Yeah, I saw that. It was funny, man.
I don't like those horror movies. They're all the
Yeah,
same.
me neither.
They're all kind of like, people get killed
they're not the
and
same.
chopped
What are you
up
talking
or
about,
whatever.
Stephen
There's
King,
blood.
man?
It's all the same.
What?
It's all the same to
Hey,
me.
no. Come on,
I'll go a
man.
step further. I judge people who like those movies.
Oh. How do you judge them? Harshly?
You're right,
I mean,
Timothy.
like-
You're right.
Like if you're gonna tell me it's a great movie, like I'm not gonna listen to your movie takes.
That's right. Your opinions on movie, like, yeah, if you're a big Freddy and Jason fan and all you want to talk about is Freddy and Jason, chances are, like, we're not gonna be watching the same stuff. Right?
Exactly.
We're not into the same thing. Like
That's why
AJ's
why
big
Cougar
with
kills
Freddy
all of
and
them.
Jason, but he doesn't know who Bowser is. You know, we're just on different wavelengths. Doesn't work.
Man, don't get mad at me, dude. I was gonna say, man.
I'm not mad. I just can't
It's okay,
believe you don't
man.
know who Bowser
I just know
is.
Bowser. I know Bowser and Blue from Montreal, man. Like I told you before, one of the best like comedy duo like ever.
I would
That's about as Bowser as I get, man.
object to that. I would say probably not
What?
one of the best comedy duos ever.
Yeah, man.
Not even top 50, I would
Singing
say.
duos. Blasphemy, Dave.
I'll take Flight of the
Blasphemy.
Conchords over those two old guys any day. No
What?
offense. Flight of the Conchords, I mean, they made way better songs. You don't even know who those guys are, so you can't compare. I know
Me
who
too, man.
Bowser and Blue are, and I know who Brett and Jermaine are. And Brett and Jermaine are far better. Far better comedy singing duo. Far better.
Mm.
You don't know who Flight
I
of the
can't- I-
Conchords
listen,
are, AJ. Stop
I'm gonna
trying to
have
act
check
cool.
it. Dude, listen, I'm
You don't know
not,
who they
I'm
are.
not. I was just listen there, Capitan. I was just about to say something.
You're the Capitan
I was
tonight.
gonna. I am the captain, Captain AJ Parrott. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something.
I'm the
I'm gonna
captain
check
now.
them out. No. The captain doesn't go empty aboard. Let me get my little mate. Come here, my little mate.
Finish your
Little
point
notorious.
about
My point
whatever
is
the
this.
hell you were
I'm
saying.
gonna hear them out. I'm gonna hear them out, and I'll be completely objective. And I'll tell you who's better. I'll listen to these guys. But to beat Bowser and Blue, it takes a lot, dude. It takes a lot.
I
Just
think
saying.
Flight of the Conchords will beat them. You may not appreciate their comedy because you won't get it because you're a little, but they're pretty good. Fred, you ever seen Flight of the Conchords?
Nope.
Oh, it's good. It's
Yeah,
an HBO show.
I had a feeling
couple
Freddie probably
seasons.
did.
Yeah, I thought Fred probably hadn't seen it either, but it's good. Fred would like it. AJ, I don't know.
I'll
But
see,
Fred's
man.
cool. Fred
And then-
Fred understands things. AJ, you're a little, you know what I mean. We love
A
you,
little in
AJ.
touch.
Yeah, a little touched by something.
Touched by an
Jake
angel.
Paul versus Anderson Silva coming
Oh,
up
yeah,
on
that's it. Forgot
Saturday. AJ
There's
is
a
going to
horror in
start telling
itself.
us now how he's been telling us for years that Jake Paul was the future of combat sports. Boop-a-doop-a-doo, the typical AJ thing. Jake Paul minus 180, the favorite. Anderson Silva plus 160, the underdog over at Bet99.com. And, let's throw some money down on Anderson Silva this weekend. Bada bing, bada boom, going with the spider. There have been rumors that Anderson Silva has been knocked out in training. He says that was said in an interview in jest. It was only a joke. And he said that in an interview back in September, and the interview's only coming out now, and he's not really sure why, but it was a joke. He wasn't being serious. He was trying to uplift his training partners, and I think it was a little bit of a language miscommunication. He was trying to say knocked down, knocked out, but he misspoke or maybe was joking around. It's not really clear. The Arizona Athletic Commission, where this fight is taking place in Arizona, they are investigating whether or not Anderson is fit to fight, but it does look like the fight will go down. Jake Paul, Anderson Silva in a boxing match coming up on Saturday night. There have been rumors of a Jake Paul injury as well to his shoulder. Apparently he's being treated regularly to repair that shoulder and get him ready for fight night, but as we know in the fight game, nobody comes in 100%. The best you could hope for is about 80 to 90. And even then, look at TJ Dillashaw. He came in at about 50% this weekend with that injured shoulder, and it didn't work out so well for him. Injuries happen. Fighters make that walk no matter what. And Anderson Silva and Jake Paul apparently are going to make the walk on Saturday night. Anderson Silva plus 160, Jake Paul minus 180, the draw plus 1,300. So there is an option for a draw in this fight here, which is interesting. Over at bet99.com, you could bet that draw at plus 1,300 and cash in. And that's a possibility. I could see a draw happening. But I also could see Anderson Silva winning because he's Anderson Silva. And he's fighting Jake Paul in a boxing match. It's a striking contest where Anderson Silva, one of the greatest strikers in the history of mixed martial arts, is going to be boxing a guy who's had, 2 fights? 3 fights? You know?
I mean, Anderson Silva has, 1 boxing fight?
Yeah, but Jake Paul has, he's got a lot of MMA fights before that, Anderson, right? Jake Paul has, 1 or 2 fights? 3 fights, I think, right?
3, at least 3.
One
Even
with Ben
more,
Askren.
He has Ben Askren,
Yeah.
2 Woodley,
Yeah.
and that other one from before. He
Okay.
has at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, 6, man. This is going to be his 6th fight coming in, man.
Really?
Yup.
Wow.
And that's the thing, and that's what people don't realize. When you look at this guy, he's like, he hasn't lost. He's knocked out like how many guys now? 4 guys. The guy's 25 years old, training like a beast every day, only getting better. I'm not saying he fought like the best fighters out there. He pretty much like got good opponents to beat. You know, Tyron Woodley, man, we knew he wasn't a great boxer, great knockout power and everything, but leading up to that fight, man, he hadn't won in years. I mean, the guy was kind of like washed up per se, but Jake Paul did the job, knocked him out like a tree dropping down for Christmas. And I said that was a meme that keeps on going. Jake Paul destroyed him, took care of Ben Askren, the most boxy, probably the worst striker in MMA history. You put him up against Jake Paul. Jake Paul flattened that guy. As soon as I saw his stance that was so boxy, I knew he was dead. The thing with Jake Paul is he really likes the game. He really likes boxing. And I'm not saying that he's the best at it, but he's gotten a lot better. And the guy is the only guy in boxing right now, which I'm going to tell you a couple of things, is that he's the only guy that's had all pay-per-views and pretty much all sellouts, man. Crowd sold out, high numbers. The guy brings money. And he also brings another thing to boxing, which boxing didn't have. It's been an old-school game for the longest time.
Is he doing the Jake Paul thing again? He's doing the thing, isn't he?
He's he's the only guy. Who are you comparing him to? Like,
but listen, hear me out. I'm just saying,
like Canelo sells out. Canelo does better pay-per-view.
Yeah,
sells. A lot of guys do better numbers than Jake Paul.
But the difference is that Jake Paul's never.
His last fight did terrible.
Listen, it did better than all those guys on their best days. And I'm going to tell you this. Jake Paul has never had any.
What do you mean? You think it did better than Canelo? What are you talking about, bro? What?
Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
That's factually incorrect.
Jake Paul has never had an amateur career, and he's selling out pay-per-views. The thing with Jake Paul, you know, like I was just about to finish, is that boxing demographically is an older school crowd. He brought in a lot of younger people to the game of boxing. He's done more for boxing than a lot of those other guys in the longest time. We haven't seen those type of numbers coming in till Jake Paul's come in. And I'm going to tell you,
bullshit.
Listen, man, there's a lot of people that didn't like this guy and said, listen, he's got to fight a real boxer. But
Jake
the
Paul
bottom
isn't
line
doing
is,
shit for
he's
boxing.
beat guys that were like,
he's not doing shit for boxing.
Listen,
he's not bringing in these kids that are watching Jake Paul aren't going to watch Canelo right after. They don't give a fuck. They want to see Jake Paul. They're not interested in the next boxing match. You're talking
tell
shit.
You something, Dave. No, you're not. And I'm going to tell you something.
Yes,
I know
you are.
For a fact, I'm going to tell you for a fact, and I can say that because I work in this domain, that the boxing gyms have increased a lot more since Jake Paul came on the scene. People are more interested in it because they're more open to seeing what boxing is.
Lies.
I'm telling you guys.
Fake
and
news.
I'm going to tell you this.
AJ
Pay-per-views. He has all pay-per-view fights.
Lies.
There's a reason for that. Hey, listen.
All right.
Shout out to Anderson. He's fighting Anderson Silva. Hello.
I wish you were fighting Anderson Silva.
I wish I was, man. I'd be like wrapping it up from Ringside Report. That's it, retirement right now. But look what I got to do. I got to dress up like Captain Jack.
Yeah, because you'd have a brain injury next week. You wouldn't be able to do the show.
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you this. I was going back and forth on who I would go with on this fight, man. And it's really, really hard. Because if you look at Silva's actually 3-1 in boxing. You know, he lost. He beat Chavez. The thing is that
okay,
Silva
he's 3-1. He's 3-1, but let's be fair and unreal here. His first fight was in 1998, where he lost by decision, and then his second fight was in 2005, where he won by knockout, and he didn't box again until 2021. So let's be honest here with that, 3-1 record. Two of those fights happened way, way, way back, and the other two fights happened more recently.
We're in 2022 going into 2023.
And he's 2-0 since
Silva
leaving the UFC.
47 years old.
2-0 in the boxing ring since leaving the UFC.
Yeah, he's
Julio
47 years
Cesar
old.
Chavez Jr., he won a decision in Mexico, went to the guy's hometown, beat him, got the judge's decision in the guy's hometown, and then knocked out Tito Ortiz at some freak show fight in September of last year. But, hey, he's looked pretty good.
There's no doubt about it, man. It's Anderson Silva. You don't get a better fighting IQ than this guy. This guy comes out and he knows the game. Even if he hasn't trained in a year, he could go into any place, hands down, and beat most of the guys there. The difference with Anderson Silva is the experience, the know-how. The only difference is this. He's 47 years old, man. He's coming into a fight with a guy who's 25 years old that has a lot of money to bring the best trainers, the best nutritionists, the best equipment into a gym. He's been training like a beast. And this guy is hungry. In his mind, he could beat Silva. He doesn't hate Silva. He loves Anderson Silva. But the difference is that when he comes to box this kid, he has something to prove. His ego is there. I'm not saying his talent is anywhere close to Anderson Silva. In MMA, let's be honest, it'll be a very short fight with Anderson Silva winning. But Anderson Silva's not throwing any kicks, no elbows, no clinching. There's going to be no takedowns, no submissions. It's going to be a straight fight. For sure, Silva's going to be able to read Jake Paul. But is he going to be able to read Jake Paul when he's throwing those heavy rights coming in at you? That's what I'm thinking. It's just the pound. I like the draw thing. When I heard the draw, I'm like, you know what? I could see something happening in this fight being a draw. But if I had to pick, and I don't want to go against Anderson Silva, one of my favorite fighters of all time. The only thing is I think that Jake Paul, train is still going to go forward, man. I think that he's going to bring out a lot more people that are going to hate him, a lot of more people that are going to love him, and he's going to have a big name fight him next. The guy who's in boxing, but he needs to beat Silva. If he beats Silva, I guarantee you a big name in boxing that hasn't been washed out, that hasn't been out of the game.
Diaz next.
Yeah. Man, listen, it could be.
And
but I have a feeling Jake Paul's going to do it.
Did you give us a pick or what? You picked Jake Paul?
I just said it, man. Captain AJ just said it. I said, I think Jake is going to do it.
You suck, AJ.
Jake Paul also.
Anderson. You suck too, Fred.
What,
Freddie?
And
you guys
I'll tell you why.
You guys are the worst.
Anderson's not going to respect him He's
He
going
will.
to play around, and he's going to get knocked out. Jake Paul by knockout. You see, AJ, you took like 20 minutes. I did that in 30 seconds.
No, but
Thank you,
you know what, Freddie? I disagree with you. I think Silva, because he's such a knowledgeable fighter. He doesn't take anybody like not serious. I think he's taking Jake Paul serious, but I don't think he has the same intensity.
I mean, even in
had.
MMA, like a lot of his fights, he wouldn't take. Like he likes to play around.
Listen, man, when he fought Weidman, he was playing around, but that was Silva
But he
being
did
at the
it
best
also
of his
with
game. He was able.
Griffin. He did it with other guys.
Yeah, he did.
He
but
hasn't
the thing
done
is
it
that,
in boxing, though. He's serious in boxing now. He's
Well,
got something to
look,
prove. He proved all he
I-
needed to prove in MMA. Now he's got a new lease on his fighting life, and he's got something to prove in boxing. I don't think he's going to joke around with Jake Paul. I think he's going to take the fight seriously, and I think he's going to put Jake Paul in a dangerous position. Anderson Silva, if Anderson Silva slams his gloves together and starts yelling, Jake Paul is dead. Dead in the water. I've seen Anderson Silva do this before. You know what I'm talking about. That glove thing. When Anderson goes, yeah, let's go. When Anderson does that, you're fucked. It's over. If Anderson's amped, if Anderson wants to do this, if Anderson starts shuffling and looking for the knockout, he's going to put that boy's lights out. Anderson, the Spider, Silva. I'm going with the dog. I'm going with the man. I'm going with the legend, Anderson Silva. And these two evil gentlemen here that I'm doing the show with are picking Jake Paul, the bad guy, to win. Fred even going so far as to pick him by knockout. Grimskull dropping a $10 super chat. Thank you, Grimskull. He says, I'm honored that Fred decided to dress as me for Halloween. Keep up the great work, boys. Well, thank you, Grimskull, and we appreciate
Pedro
the support.
Martinez also?
No, I just think, your dress is kind of, an everyday regular guy. You could say you're dressed like Pedro Martinez, but I think a jersey would have helped.
To do blackface, man. I'm Pedro
Listen,
Martinez.
If you got an Expos jersey
I'm a
on,
respectful Pedro Martinez.
Listen,
I mean,
Dave, Freddie's
it's
actually
not a great costume.
dressed.
My
He's
costume's
actually
better.
dressed for Halloween because most people are wearing skinny jeans and tight shirts. Freddie's going back 80s retro, man. He's in gear, man. Look at this guy.
I'm comfortable,
80s.
man.
Hey, listen,
my
Dave, I
Ultimate
wanted to say
Warrior.
something. Ultimate Warrior, man.
Hoodie on top. Feel the power.
So Saturday night, we're going to do a Jake Paul Anderson Silva watch-along. Shut up, AJ. I'm promoting what we're doing. We're doing a watch-along on Saturday night for Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. And I know that Uriah Hall, I think, is on this card, but I really don't care. I don't think we're going to be... Oh, he's fighting like a football player, isn't he? That might be interesting. Maybe we'll come on for the Uriah Hall football player fight. I think there's a couple other fights on this, but... Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, we'll probably watch that, and we'll watch the Anderson Silva fight. I don't even know what time we're going to come on Saturday night, to be quite honest with you. I think it'll be
Late.
9 or 10-ish, maybe later, maybe 10:30-ish. I don't know. We'll figure out exactly when the fight is, but I don't actually know. So it's on Saturday. I don't know when it starts, but we're not going to watch the whole pay-per-view because I'm not sitting through a bunch of boxing and a bunch of nonsense. But we'll definitely do a watch-along. You'll be able to watch the Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight Saturday night with us here on the Ringside Report Network. Just like this video and subscribe to the channel and click the bell when you subscribe so you get the notification when we are on. But it should be, I'm aiming towards 10:30 on Saturday night, something like that. Right?
Listen, yeah, I'm gonna jump out of a Halloween party that I've been invited to, and I'll be like live, man. I'm gonna tell you something.
Are you
Dave.
coming here to watch it, or are you going to watch it from home?
I'll let you know when I get closer to
You can watch it from
Saturday.
home.
Yep.
I'll
But-
see you
or I'll
enough
just
on
come over.
Sunday when we go see Johnny North beat up Drew Onyx.
Oh yeah, man! Don't forget the Johnny North
There you
thing.
go.
Promote it, Dave. Johnny North.
Johnny
kicking Drew
North
Onyx
is
in the
wrestling on
ass
Sunday in
Sunday.
Laval against Drew Onyx. He's going to win.
Oh, it's gonna be wild, man. You know
gonna
what?
be
I'm gonna
awesome.
go dressed as this, man. How's that sound?
Maybe I'll dress as
I'm going like
Bowser
this.
and we'll just have a good time, yeah. Okay. We could go Halloween style.
Listen, yeah, why not, man? It's like pro
No
wrestling,
reason.
man. You gotta just do it, man. You can't get a
Just do it.
crazier place than that. Listen, man, I was gonna say something on the Anderson Silva, Dave, before you ended. Don't forget, Anderson Silva, Dave, is 47 years old.
Mhm.
47 years old. He's as old as Charlotte's Web. This guy, Jake Paul, is 25 years old, dude. that says it all. I'm sorry to say, man, but I don't think, and it's hard for me to go against Anderson Silva.
Hey, AJ, let me ask you something. If you had a jiu-jitsu match against somebody who was 25 years old that had been doing jiu-jitsu for 5 years, you think you'd beat them?
Depends who he's training with, bud.
Depends.
Honestly, depends who he's training with.
Okay, but
like if he's training with fucking
match.
Eddie Bravo and he's training with Murillo Bustamante,
yeah,
and
but Jake Paul's not training with those guys. He's not training with the top of the top.
No, man, he's getting the best coaches that money can buy. Everybody, man.
No,
He's got
one of his
too many
fight
guys,
camps,
man.
he had Jean Pascal, which ain't too bad.
Yeah, he even had Jean Pascal. As an advisor. I'm not saying like Jean Pascal is the best boxer in the world, but he's done enough in the boxing circuit to have a guy like that. That's not a joke. Jake Paul has the money, and you should see his training facility, man. It was ridiculous. That's what I'm trying to say is, I hate to say that money can buy stuff, but it does. Money can buy you the chance to progress a lot faster. I'm going to tell you something, Dave.
You were wrong on Jake Paul before, and you'll be wrong again, AJ.
No, I was
How
right
did you
about
pick
Jake
the
Paul.
last fight? How did you pick the last Jake Paul fight?
I took Jake Paul, man. I never went against
you
Jake.
didn't. You
Yes, I
took
did,
Tyron Woodley, and you were so mad that Tyron Woodley didn't win. What? Go back and watch the watch-along, motherfucker.
First time.
You
the
were
first Woodley.
No, the last
Woodley.
one. The second one, you took Woodley, and you were so mad. You were
you're
so
mistaken,
angry.
Yeah, listen, man, you're mistaken. The first time I said it might be a challenge. The second time I said Jake Paul was going to knock him out, and he did.
No, you didn't. I said that.
I agree with you.
You're a big liar. Big lies.
I'll tell you, man. I have all confidence in Jake Paul because the guy can deliver.
I think it was the first time where you were watching it and it went to a decision and you were just getting angrier and angrier and you just hated Tyron Woodley because I told you Jake Paul would beat him and then he didn't. And then he did, and then you were mad. But I think the second time, too, you took Woodley because you're a silly man.
No. I didn't take Woodley. I swear, man. I told you.
Even if you did take Woodley, you'd never admit to it. We'd have to go back to the show.
Never. No.
I'll go back to the show.
I told you. Listen, man, just go on our Instagram things. You'll see that I was on the Jake Paul train, man. For the longest time, except for the first Woodley fight, I was like, maybe he's going to have a hard time. Then after I saw what Jake Paul did, I realized that money can buy you progression. And
you jump on and off the bandwagon so much.
Listen, if you were no, you're the flip flopper, but I'm gonna tell you something.
I just tell it like it is.
If you were trading,
I call it fight by fight. I don't jump on bandwagons. I call it fight by fight.
But you have to admit one thing.
No.
Before I jump into what you have to admit to is that if you were training with Eddie Bravo for like the next 2 years, every day, 8 hours a day, I can assure you, you should be able to kick a lot of people's asses in no-gi jiu-jitsu, hands down. That's what I'm saying. If AJ could be like training in Brazil right now, he would, man. I'd be like training big time in Brazil and becoming like a beast. But some people can't afford to do that. Some people have the flexibility to do that. And Jake Paul is one of them.
But you could train your whole life and still never be close to Anderson Silva. That's the thing, AJ. That's the thing you're forgetting, is that Anderson is that guy. He's been that guy for his whole life pretty much. And, yes, he's 47. He's not the same. But he's still got those skills. He's still that man. And, Jake Paul hasn't proven that he's close to an Anderson Silva level. Beating Tyron Woodley is way different than beating Anderson Silva in a striking contest, in a battle of fists, a fist fight against Anderson Silva, one of the greatest strikers in the history of the game.
You're right. In MMA, I would give it straight down to Anderson Silva. In boxing, the heavier puncher is Jake Paul. Much heavier than Anderson Silva. And that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Don't think so.
Is that 47?
You say that because Jake Paul's only fought 170-pound fighters. Now he's fighting a big guy who's his size, who's actually taller than him.
Silva's
bigger.
Is an inch
he's the biggest guy.
Like
he's the biggest and best guy that Jake Paul has ever fought.
Hands down. I agree with you. I agree with you there. This is going to be like, the fight that makes or breaks Jake Paul. But if he makes it, man, it's only going to get crazier. And I'm telling you, and hear me out. AJ was the first guy that ever came across before everybody else, Joe Rogan.
Oh, shut
Joe
up with that.
Rogan,
I'm sick of
and all
that bullshit.
them.
AJ told
But
you
that
about
bullshit
Jake
is
Paul.
real.
He was going to
I
be a
said
big
Jake
deal.
Paul first.
AJ told you. AJ told you.
And
You didn't
AJ
say
was right.
shit, AJ.
AJ was right.
Oh, my God.
But the truth
Fred,
is,
aren't you tired of that shit? AJ's always like, AJ told you about Jake Paul. Like, man,
Listen, man, what do you
when
want
is
me
he
to
going
say?
to
It
give
wasn't
that
true.
one up?
Listen, Dave, you
Give
can
it
admit
up,
it, man.
dude.
I'm not giving
You
that
told
information to the
AJ
Rogan show.
told us that he was popular, but AJ didn't believe in him at the beginning. AJ thought
Of course
Jake
not.
Paul would lose to Ben Askren, to Tyron Woodley. Like, you've been
That's
picking
true.
against Jake Paul since the beginning, so
No.
But
I
hey,
said that this guy, my actual
you
words
recognize that he was getting eyeballs. I'll give you that.
listen, the eyeballs were getting there because I had no idea who this Jake Paul was. And the thing that I said is, once I saw his first fight on YouTube, I said, this kid is going to change the face of sports. That's exactly my words. You could go back in time. I said it before anybody. I said this guy was going to change the face
So
of
what has
sports.
changed?
He hasn't.
And Super Dave actually jumped on me. He's like, no. He has changed,
What has
the face
changed?
of sports. Everything.
The
Pay-per-view
face of
numbers.
sports?
Money coming in. People
He's
doing
changed the
watch-alongs.
face of
He's
sports.
got into UFC.
What are you talking about?
boxing, WWE, the brother. Like, these guys are into everything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They've created a persona that is so big that they've gone from sort of
Okay,
that
but they've
virtual
not
world
changed the
to
face of
real
sports.
world.
They've become
they have.
celebrities,
They
and
have.
they've managed to capitalize off that celebrity with some celebrity boxing matches and shit. They haven't changed sports. It's not like
Yeah,
every
they have.
YouTube star is taking up boxing now. They have not changed sports.
Listen, man.
They've
Listen,
become
yes, he has.
stars
He got
in
Amanda
boxing.
Serrano.
They haven't
He's got Amanda
changed
Serrano.
sports. Amanda
Yes, he has.
You're the only person that
He
knows
got-
that girl's name, bro. Nobody gives a
Doesn't matter,
shit
man.
about
When you look
Amanda
at people that-
Serrano. Fuck
I
out of
do,
here.
because
You
he
and
brought in
fucking
more
Ariel
money.
Helwani
People-
on Jake Paul's dick talking about Amanda Serrano.
Listen,
Fuck
man,
out of here with
Amanda
that bullshit.
Serrano-
Nobody
Amanda
cares.
Serrano-
Her last fight you didn't watch because it wasn't on a Jake Paul
It
card,
doesn't matter,
and nobody
dude.
gives
He
a
was able
fuck
to
about
bring-
her.
But
Get out of
every-
here.
But listen, he brought her more money than anyone's ever done in female boxing. The guy
Because
has
he gave
changed
her a
the face
cut.
of
Because
sports.
he's trying to show that he's a good guy and he cares about female boxing.
Listen,
But
man.
the minute she's off the Jake Paul card, she makes nothing, and she's a nobody because no one cares.
You're so
Get
cool,
off.
Dave. You're
It's
so
true.
cool.
It's true. I'm not trying to tell you that, Amanda Serrano's a bad boxer. She's a fine boxer. But I don't give a fuck to see her box.
Listen, I support female boxing at all levels. I don't care what it is. And Jake Paul has changed the face of sports.
I don't support
regardless.
boxing.
What?
I don't. I'm not a big fan of boxing, so I don't care about some no-name woman's boxer who happens to be friends with Jake Paul. Get out of here. Jake Paul tried to make her into a star. It was a failure. He hasn't changed the face of sports. He hasn't changed the face of shit.
What?
Anderson Silva's
Beg
going to
to
change
differ,
his
man.
face on Saturday night. Get it together.
I don't think so. I think the spider's gonna get squashed, man. But it'll be an interesting watch along, dude. You know, I think the spider, unfortunately, is gonna get squashed. Jake
That's
Paul
what I
is
think
gonna
about you and your
come
predictions.
in and dude, don't get mad, man. You know, I just think.
Do I look
like
mad?
Freddie agrees.
I think I look ridiculous, but not mad.
But no, you look
I
good.
want
bud.
Jake
But I'm
Paul to
gonna tell you
win
this.
just so we get the Nate Diaz fight, because that's the hype video I want to see. Like those are
Yeah,
the press
that'll-
conferences I want to see. But I'm not even sure. Like Jake Paul might just like if Jake Paul had to go through news conferences with Nate Diaz, he might just not show up for the fight, man. Nate Diaz might just carry him.
You think so? I don't think this guy's intimidated by anybody, man. I'm
If
telling
he
you.
can beat
Did you
Anderson
see how he walked
Silva,
into his conferences?
if he
Did you
can
see how
beat
he walked
Anderson
into his
Silva, he can maybe beat Nate Diaz, man. You know.
Yeah,
But I don't think he
you
can.
gotta- listen, man, this guy
That's what I
is
wanna
like
see
all
next.
about the show. This guy comes into public workouts by horse. I mean, this guy does everything you can imagine to get like the attention, but he delivers in the end. He still won every fight. You know, 4 knockouts. He still has it there. You can't deny that. Even Mike Tyson likes him. Let me get you some of the.
No, I'm
you
good.
know what was interesting? No. You got to hear
Save
this.
it for Saturday.
Chael Sonnen agrees with Jake Paul winning. Tom Aspinall agrees with Jake Paul winning. KSI, which is his enemy, is obviously going with Silva. That's a given. Tyron Woodley, he still doesn't know. He's sitting on the fence. Imagine Tyron Woodley, who fought Jake Paul, is sitting on the fence. He's still not sure. he has the edge to Jake Paul. Daniel Cormier is the only one that I can say is that I respect whatever Cormier says. He's going with Silva. Oscar De La Hoya. Okay, I don't know if he was on coke or not when he said this, but he's going with Jake Paul. You know? Like, I'm telling you, man, you got a lot of guys that have been in the game that are, like, split.
Yeah, whatever. That's cool.
I'm just saying, dude.
Oscar De La Hoya doesn't know
Don't get
shit
mad at
about
Captain
Anderson
AJ.
Silva. He's about to learn.
Don't get mad at Captain AJ.
He's about to learn what the kid from Curitiba, Brazil is all about. All right? It's time. It's Anderson time. He back. He back. All right. We got UFC on Saturday night too, boys. There's a UFC card.
Man.
It's Calvin
Yeah,
Kattar
so cool.
versus Arnold Allen. This is a hell of a fight. Arnold Allen is on quite a win streak. This guy, 28 years old, fighting out of England. He has not lost since 2014. He is on a 10-fight win streak, undefeated in the UFC. Knocked out Dan Hooker in the very first round in his last fight. Arnold Allen is on his way up here. This is a big fight, and he takes on Calvin Kattar, who's been a mainstay in the division, one of the top fighters in the division, coming off a split decision loss to Josh Emmett in a 5-rounder. That was a main event of a fight night card. He main events this fight night card again. Calvin Kattar is a big fight guy. He's a main eventer in that featherweight division. He's a star in the featherweight division. He's 34 years old. I just think Arnold Allen is surging. I just think it's Arnold's time. And I just love what he's been able to do. He's putting everything together. He's got solid wrestling, a great striking, great movement, but the power, too, is really coming together. He's getting bigger. He's getting stronger. You know, as he gets older, this guy's been fighting for a long time. You know, he's 28 years old, which means, you know, he's been fighting since he was a very young man, right? Because he's been
a lot
fighting.
of fights this game, man.
Like, he started in the UFC in 2015. That's 7 years ago. So he was about, what, 21 when he started in the UFC? And this guy's on a streak. And it's been weird because it's been real quiet, right? He's not the most active fighter in the UFC. He's not a guy that talks a lot. He's not a guy with a lot of buzz. But this could be the time when we say, oh, okay, Arnold Allen is a guy that should be getting a title shot or at least on his way to it. This is a big fight for him. He beats Calvin Kattar, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, Arnold Allen. This guy's for real, and more MMA fans will start to figure that out. Because I've been watching this guy for a long time. I remember first hearing about him years ago because he trained here in Montreal with TriStar. He was one of the TriStar guys for a while, and he's a killer. He's been a killer for years. And it's cool to see him finally come up to this spot where it feels like it's the right time. 28 years old, you know, main eventing, I think his first UFC show. But he's been in the promotion since 2015. He's fought in the UFC, what, 7, 8, 9 times? This will be his 10th fight in the promotion. Like, this guy is a veteran, and he's only 28. This is a good fight. Arnold Allen,
For sure.
minus 116 the favorite. Calvin Kattar, minus 106. This one was a pick'em. On a lot of sports books, they have it as a pick'em. At Bet99.com, they have Arnold Allen as a slight favorite, minus 116. But it is slight. Very close fight here in the main event.
Man, I like Arnold Allen. When you see this guy fight, like what he did to Dan Hooker in the first round, you realize, holy smokes. The thing with him is that he's had like a lot of injuries throughout his career, mostly his hands and whatnot. But, you know, Kattar is like a big step up in competition in some sense. But this, like just his name, Arnold Allen, you don't think of anything spectacular. You don't think of a great fighter. But when you see this guy fight, you're like, holy shit, man. This guy is dangerous. And I'm with you, Dave, on this one. I think Arnold Allen's going to win this.
Yeah, he's really he's improved every time I watch him. And I've been watching him closely for a long time because, like I said, I knew he lived in Montreal for a while. And, you know, I've been paying attention to Arnold Allen. And, yeah, the improvement that I've seen over the past few years has been really, really impressive. His last fight, too, when he just smashed through Dan Hooker, it was like, oh, okay. Arnold Allen is putting it together on another level. So, yeah, I'm going with Arnold Billy Allen in the main event.
Yeah, man. And he has, like, decent, like, takedown defense. It stands at 76%. You look at his, like, his takedown offense, he's at about 50%. So the thing is that it really depends where this fight's going to go. But, you know, he has all the tools really to walk away with a win. It's going to be a good fight.
The movement,
I'm going with
the
Allen.
power, the freshness.
Yep.
Freshness is
18 and
something.
1, man.
When I say freshness in MMA, I'm talking about freshness of chin. If you are a guy that hasn't been knocked out, if you are a guy that hasn't been hit a lot, you got that fresh chin, and that counts for so much. Youth, freshness of chin. He's got that freshness.
And he's got a good record, man. He's 18 and 1, man. There's a reason for that. So, you know.
Freddie, you got Kattar or Allen?
I got Allen also.
There you go.
I've been a fan of Allen. I think he's a good fighter. And, I think he's been tested, man. Dan Hooker's not he's a decent fighter. He hasn't had a good last couple of years, but he's still a good fighter. He defeated also Nick Lance. Gilbert Melendez was probably not in his best years, but Arnold Allen has fought some decent opposition still. And Calvin Kattar, man, he loses against top guys, though. So, Josh Emmett is a top guy. Max Holloway's a top guy. Zabit right now is retired, but he used to be a top guy. So Kattar loses to the top guys, but I think Arnold Allen might be one of those top guys. So I'm going to go with Arnold Allen.
And that Kattar fight with Emmett was super close, right? I think it was a split decision, and a lot of people thought Emmett may have won or may have lost that, and Kattar won. But, yeah, Emmett is definitely elite in this division, and Allen, I think, is here to prove that he's elite too. So we are unanimous with Arnold Allen. The co-main event of this card is Max Griffin versus Tim Means.
That'll be a good one.
Interesting fight. Means right now is the underdog, plus 154. Griffin minus 189. I agree with those odds. I think I'm going to go with Griffin. I'm not putting him on my parlay, though. I do have a parlay for you. We're going with the Salsa Boy. Salsa Boy! Brrr. Come on, guys. Get ready with Salsa Boy.
Salsa Boy.
Salsa Boy, Waldo Cortez Acosta, a.k.a. Salsa Boy. From the Dominican Republic, Fred, one of your buddies there, Pedro. The Dominican, originally from the Dominican, he fights out of Arizona. He is the number 1 ranked heavyweight in Arizona. Okay, guys? Number 1 ranked in the whole state of Arizona. So that's pretty good. Waldo Cortez Acosta, coming off the Dana White Contender Series, making his official UFC debut here, coming in as a favorite, minus 200 over Jared Vandera. And I very much like Salsa Boy. And I'm going to throw him on my parlay. Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Dave, that's a good one. He's 7-0, man. When you look at his record,
yes, he's a lock. He's a lock. He's going to win for sure.
He's got a 3-inch reach. I mean, you look at his average fight time, it's only like 3 minutes and 40 seconds. This guy comes in to knock you out. This guy comes in to win. And you look at like a Jared, man, not the most physically fit-looking guy in the world, but, man, his record stands at 12-9. He usually goes like the distance, like almost like a 10-minute average fight time. Like I said, 3 inches shorter on the reach, which makes a huge difference. The only difference is that the strikes landed per minute. If you look at strikes landed per minute, you got Waldo at 11 to only 5 for Jared. That's the problem with Jared. He doesn't strike a lot. He'll go the distance, but, man, you're going up against like this guy who's just going to come and pound. He wants to end the fight in the first couple of rounds. And I'm with you on that. I go with Salsa.
This guy is going to come and pound. AJ's quote of the night. I like to
pound like a porn star of the 80s.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going there. I don't know why you have to bring it to the 80s, but okay. Everything's the 80s with AJ.
Yeah, man.
A decade I have no recollection of. Josh Fremd takes on Trayshawn Gore. I think Fremd has this one. Gore is just not UFC caliber. He's just not. It looked like he was on The Ultimate Fighter, and after seeing him a couple times in UFC, he's clearly not. So that's going to be part of my parlay, too. I've got a few solo picks. I got some picks here for this card, guys. I know Patrick C. Hamilton dropped a super chat. He says, nothing exciting this weekend, enjoying my O'Malley money. Well, congratulations on that one, Patrick. That was a big shocker over the weekend. Sean O'Malley says he watched the fight and he thinks that he won.
Exactly. O'Malley.
Not many people think that he won. AJ, you didn't think that he won.
I got no problem with the decision.
Hey, listen, man,
he was
on my
close.
pick.
Dan won. I thought Yan won, but I'm not the one that's gonna yell robbery.
Yeah, I thought Yan won at least 2 rounds, but
That first one was tight still.
the first
Could've
one was
gone.
close, and yeah, I think the first one was close. The second one was Yan's, and third one was O'Malley's, and O'Malley wound up winning the fight. I mean, that's the fight game. Sometimes things slide, and the judges, they give it to the guy you didn't think won. But, very few people thought O'Malley won that fight, right? Most of the scores online, pretty much everybody was unanimous thinking that Petr Yan had won, except for the judges. And, their opinion counts the most because they're the one deciding who wins. So, that's how it is sometimes. So, Patrick, I know you're kind of laying off the action this weekend, but I'm going to give you a 3-fight parlay that may entice you. There it is, right there, the Team Dave parlay. We're going to go with Arnold Allen in the main event, -116. We're going with Joshua Fremd over Tresean Gore, -167. And we're going with Salsa Boy, Waldo Cortez Acosta. It's a 3-fight favorite parlay, $20. We'll get you 92.28 right now at bet99.com, plus 348 on that 3-fight Dave parlay. Team Dave, 3 fights. The payout is decent. And I'm pretty confident with this parlay. Arnold Allen, Josh Fremd, and Salsa Boy, Waldo Acosta Cortez, the #1 ranked heavyweight in all of Arizona. Come on, guys. Come on.
Arizona,
All right.
man.
So that's my parlay. You like that, guys? That's pretty good, right? 3-fight
kinda
parlay,
like it.
not bad. $20 gets you a 92.28. Bada bing, bada boom. You're making money. Freddie, you got a parlay for me?
Yeah. I got Arnold Allen, Waldo, Faldo, Araldo, Cortez, Acosta.
AJ, what's that a reference? You're laughing, but you don't get the reference.
Geraldo.
Waldo,
Waldo,
Faldo,
Araldo.
Geraldo. What was his name? That guy was great.
Waldo, Faldo, Araldo.
Was
He
that his name?
Eddie. Yeah.
Eddie's best friend.
Eddie's best friend.
Yeah, he was funny.
Exactly.
AJ saying Eddie. He doesn't know who he's talking about. He doesn't know who we're talking about.
Talking about Eddie Murphy, man.
No, we're not.
80s.
We're talking about Eddie Winslow.
Woo.
Eddie Winslow,
Family
Carl's
matters.
son, Laura's sister. You know Urkel.
Yeah,
Steve Urkel.
Urkel. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, there you
Okay, 80s again. I should have known that.
go. I think it was more 90s.
All right,
Let's-
so let's
you might be
continue
right.
with
I think
Phil
yeah.
Hawes.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on a newspaper page. Love a condition that the greatest as some people say is even harder to find. Well, there must be some magic truth inside these dreadful walls, but all I see is a tower of dreams. Real love bursting out of every scene. Better, again go by. It's a big love with the family.
That's pretty good, man. That was good. Bravo.
Oh, I love that song. So good. Can't mention Family Matters without me bursting into song. Do, 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 do. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Fred. You're giving me a parlay. So you had Arnold Allen, Waldo, Faldo, Geraldo, Cortez, Salsa Boy. Who else did you?
Philip Hawes.
Oh, no, I don't like it. I like Dolidze. I think Dolidze as a single bet is pretty good. But okay.
All right. I got Philip Hawes, Andre Arlovsky,
Yes.
Max Griffin.
Oh, that's a big parlay, Fred. You're throwing a lot of fights in there. All right, let's see, Team
Fight.
Fred. Let's take a look. What did Fred give us this week? He gave us Arnold Allen. He gave us Waldo Cortez Acosta. All right. He gave us Philip Hawes, who I think may lose, but I'm not sure. I'm going to put a single bet on Dolidze because I think Dolidze might win, and he's a good pick. Andre Arlovsky, I was going to put a single bet on him as well. I think he's a good bet against Rogerio de Lima. Plus 192 as an underdog. I like it. And Max Griffin over Tim Means. That one I'm not too confident in. Sorry, Fred. $20 gets you $403. Oh, my God. What a parlay. $20 gets you 403. Griffin, Arlovsky, Haas, Cortez Acosta, and Allen. It's a 5-fight parlay from Team Fred. A rare 5-fight parlay for Team Fred.
Nice. I like it too.
AJ, what do you got? I like Arlovsky in that one, too. Arlovsky's been on a win streak. Andre Arlovsky, on the prelims in this fight, he has won. He's 43 years old. Is it 4 only? Yeah, 4 in a row. But he's won 6 of his last 7. Like, he's done very well in the past couple of years. He's looked really sharp. His boxing is good. He's winning decisions. I think he could win another decision over Rogerio de Lima. But I also think he could get knocked unconscious. You know what I mean? Like, either or.
Yeah.
Either or. I'm not sure which will happen.
That seems more the probability, man.
Rogerio de Lima is not the best, though, you know? He is the favorite, like he's supposed to win, but Arlovsky's been the underdog before, and he's come off victorious. Rogerio de Lima, you know, he's coming off a loss to Blagoy, Ivanov. He's okay, but, you know, he's lost some fights, too. I don't know. He's not unbeatable for Arlovsky, you know? It's not unbeatable. It's possible. All right.
It's going to be
AJ,
tough.
what do you got?
It's gonna be tough.
AJ clearly not picking Arlovsky in his parlay. What do you got for me? Team AJ.
Team AJ, man. Team Captain AJ. Arnold Allen is my pick on that one.
Wow, we're all putting him in our parlay, eh?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that you know, it's not that, listen, anything could happen, but I think Arnold should be able to handle Calvin. Max Griffin with the win there. I'm going to go with Waldo.
There you go.
Waldo is going to be a tough guy to beat, man.
Salsa
Then I'm going to
boy.
go with Salsa Boy. Then I'm going to go with Josh over Treason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Treason.
Treason, like, yeah, is that how you say
His
it?
name
Treason?
is not treason. It's Treason.
Man, it's treason, man.
It's
I don't
not
know, but
treason.
I beg to differ, man. I think it's
not
treason.
treason.
Treason, man. That's what they say in Jamaica.
No,
Treason.
they don't.
But I'm going to tell you,
They say
he's
Treason.
4-2, man. No, it's treason. But I'm going to, like, you know,
ridiculous.
I'm sure all of England agrees with me again. But I'm going to tell you, 4 wins, 2 losses, man. Not spectacular. You know, it's going to be a tough night for Trejan. But then I'm going to end it with
Trey.
Treason.
You know, like a
I
Trey
just said it, man.
and like a guy named
Treason.
Sean. Trey Sean.
No, Dave. No.
Treason.
You're getting it. There's no, like, hyphen in between that. That's Trejan. So, listen, then I'm going to finish it off with, you know, Dustin, man. Dustin Jacoby over Khalil. I think that's going to be a winning card, man.
Jacoby.
Yeah,
Dustin Jacoby.
Yeah, Dustin. Don't dust me out. But I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a
Jacoby.
winning. This is going to be Jacoby.
Screwed everybody's name up tonight.
Listen, man. Why you? Hey, listen, man. You know how many people agree with me when I say it?
Nobody.
Trejan.
Nobody.
I'm telling you, man.
Trey Sean is his name.
All the Jamaica and England are going to be like, AJ,
No.
that boy's right.
No, they're
I know,
not
man.
going to say that.
Oh, yes, they will.
There's
yes, they will.
AJ's stupid parlay, Arnold Allen, Max
Oh,
Griffin,
stupid. That's a winning parlay.
Waldo Cortez Acosta. I mean, maybe not. Josh Fremd.
Oh, yeah.
And Dustin Jacoby. I mean, it's actually
Show me the money.
I agree with most of those picks. I think Tim Means might pull off an upset. I didn't put him in my parlay, but I do have Allen. I have Allen. My parlay is Allen, Waldo, Fremd, and you just added Jacoby and Griffin. It's a 5-5.
Hold on. Yeah.
Shut up, man. It's a 5-5 parlay from Team AJ. $20 gets you $226. Fred's parlay was the best. Fred parlay had the biggest payout. Mine had the smallest. AJ's right in the middle. Right in the middle. Jacoby, Fremd, Cortez Acosta, Griffin, and Allen.
Yep. That looks good, man. I feel very confident on that, man. I feel confident.
We had UFC 280 last weekend. It looks like we know the opponents for a lot of the fighters that'll be coming up. Aljamain Sterling, the bantamweight champion, got that win over TJ Dillashaw. Looks like he'll be fighting Henry Cejudo next. Dana White mentioned Cejudo as a possible opponent for Aljamain, and I think that'll be pretty good. I'm looking forward to that, and I'd give Sterling the edge right now, but, man, Cejudo is tough. Alexander Volkanovski, as we saw on the pay-per-view, will be next for Islam Makhachev. Volkanovski, the 145-pound champion, will be jumping up to fight at 155 pounds in his home country of Australia. They're going to do it in Perth in February. Volkanovski versus Makhachev. Makhachev wants to take on Volkanovski because he is the number one pound-for-pound ranked fighter in the UFC. He's the best guy going. We haven't seen Volkanovski taken down a lot. We haven't seen Volkanovski out-wrestled a lot, but we haven't seen Volkanovski fight Islam Makhachev. And I think the size advantage and the wrestling advantage will be in Makhachev's favor, and I think that'll help him win.
Listen,
although
man,
you can't out Volkanovski. This guy is
he's a beast
on a run,
but is he,
and man, is he good.
So was Oliveira,
I mean, what
man.
he did to Max Holloway, though, good God almighty.
Yeah,
Smashed
but dude,
him.
let's be honest, man. Oliveira got manhandled big time. I mean, I love Volkanovski, but it's not going to be easy. I mean, did you see them when they went face to face? Islam is he's going to be a long-term champion. This guy is going to be there for a while. It's going to be hard for people to dethrone this guy. I mean, what he did, the way he went in there, and you're talking that he dismantled a jiu-jitsu black belt champion, the guy who has 16 submission wins in the UFC, a guy whose stand-up is phenomenal. His Muay Thai game is so deadly. It doesn't matter how you go against Oliveira, chances are you're going to be on the losing end, and we can say that all before he met Islam. When Islam came, he made him look like he was not even meant to be in the UFC. That's how good he dissected him. And I really fear for Volkanovski. I just think the top pressure by Islam, where he can close a triangle choke without actually closing the transition, to me was, holy shit, how much power was being generated. If he would have closed that transition, would he have taken his head off? I mean, that's how crazy it was. It was unbelievable. And I'm telling you, man, look, a lot of Australians are already saying, why have it in Perth? I'm just saying, man, Volkanovski, maybe, you should have fought someone else before going up against, Islam. Just in my opinion.
Well, we'll see.
Because where do you go from there, then?
Back to 145?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that'll be fine. I mean, he goes up, he tests himself, he tries it out, he goes back down.
Yeah.
Holloway was going to fight Khabib at one point when he was the 145-pound champion. He was going to go up and try to fight Khabib and see what would happen, and he probably would have lost, and, there you go. I think this makes sense for Volkanovski because there's nobody really else for him to beat at 145. He's beat them all. So let them come up with a new challenger. Let them come up with a new opponent here, and he'll go out and fight Islam and see if he can be the champ. Speaking of double champs and possible opponents for Islam Makhachev, your boy Conor McGregor can't fight because he has to re-enter the USADA testing pool. He's not being tested by USADA, and in order to fight for the UFC, you have to be tested for 6 months prior to fighting. So he's not in the testing pool, so until he comes back and is in it for 6 months, he can't fight. So no fights for
Jack without getting tested.
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
He's jacked like crazy, man. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, when you see him now in the physique, you're not surprised that he's not being drug tested, right? It kind of makes sense. Oh, Conor took himself out of the USADA drug testing pool. I wonder why. Hey, you know what helps you recover from injuries? Steroids.
Yep, you're right.
They help.
Listen, man.
Sometimes they help.
Well, listen, in his case,
all the time,
with a titanium, with a titanium rod in his leg, I mean, I would do the same thing, Dave. Let's be honest. I think his plan is actually going to work for him in the end. I don't know how far he can go with a guy like Islam, but let me tell you, man, he's like Conor Schwarzenegger right now, man. It's ridiculous.
All the guys that lost to Khabib, Poirier, Conor, etc., they must, when they saw Islam win, man, they must have went oh, fuck, man, I'm not getting that title back.
I got no shot now.
Yeah, exactly. It's oh, fuck, man, I'm fighting for second best in the division now.
Yep.
So, yeah, look, great for Islam, man. Happy to see that, man. And that was a great fight, and I believe he's going to be a champion for a while, man. I don't think anybody right now is going to be able to challenging
at that caliber.
I don't see any names. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Khabib.
there's nobody at 155 right now that
And
can
Conor
touch
sucks,
Islam.
man. I love
Conor
how
couldn't.
Bilal Muhammad's been just trash talking him. He's like, I've rewatched the O'Malley fight, and I think that Conor McGregor sucks and will never win another fight. Though those were Bilal's words.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, he fought well too, man. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough, man.
it
But
looks
who
like-
doesn't want to see Conor fight?
Yeah,
Come on,
he'll
let's be
fight
honest.
again, and people will pay for it, but he'll probably lose. I'd be surprised if he wins another UFC fight, unless they just give him an absolute easy return. Kobe Covington is going to fight Khamzat Chimaev in March. UFC looking
That's
at
great.
that fight, which is amazing, right? That's the
That's
fight.
gonna be great.
Oh, my God.
And John Jones said he signed a contract to fight Stipe, but Stipe hasn't signed it yet. I'm not sure what's happening with that, man. Some people are saying Stipe might be retiring, or anyways, man. Stipe's playing hardball, it seems.
I don't know
It's been a
why.
while, right?
I want to see John Jones fight already. Can we get this done?
Because I was
Listen, if you
reading it
don't
was
fight-
like December 10th or something like that it was going to happen. But then I
Yeah, it
read
was supposed to.
today or yesterday, I read that Stipe, he hasn't signed and he might not be signing soon.
Yeah. I was hearing
Well,
that
if that's
too. I
the
was
case-
hearing December was going to be the UFC card with John Jones, and they were looking at that, or maybe looking at the Glover Teixeira Glover Teixeira Yuri Prohaska fight, and then they just decided we don't have the Jones Stipe fight. We're going to go with Yuri and Glover.
Listen,
Yeah.
man, at that point there, Dave, you put Jones with anybody.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be Stipe. I mean, Stipe's been out of the game for quite a bit of time. Jones actually has a chance against Stipe, but you can't underestimate Stipe. The guy's a beast, but he's been out of the game for a while. If Stipe doesn't want to step in, you got to give Jones a fight now. He's been out of the game for too long. I don't care who it is in front of him. Put him up against Cyril Gane. Let's see
Gane.
that fight.
Let's do it.
You know?
Let's do it.
Exactly.
I mean, what the hell? If Stipe is not there, give him Cyril Gane, and let's see
And
what
Ngannou.
happens.
Yep.
Re-sign
Ngannou.
Ngannou, man.
Ngannou.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, either or, man. Let's do it, man. You know, the guy's training, man. Let's get him in the octagon. Everybody wants to see him. Like, time is ticking. We're going to 2023, man. You know, it's too many years, too late.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's it. I know I said I was going to talk
That's
about
it.
Kanye, but I probably shouldn't.
Yay!
I'll get myself in trouble.
Yee!
Yay.
Yee!
You know, he's saying a lot of things. I'm watching a lot of the things that he's saying.
You're
not-
amazing.
I'm not just reading. Yeah, I'm not just reading the quotes. I'm actually watching the whole interview to figure out what the hell he's trying to say. And, yeah,
What
I
does
don't
he
agree
say?
with everything that he says, but I agree with some of the things that he says, and that's just, you know, how things work.
Careful, Dave. Don't get us
Yeah,
canceled.
kind of.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I mean,
Dave, don't do it, man. Don't be
I
the
don't
guy
agree.
that does it.
I don't agree with anything he says about Jewish people. I don't agree with anything Kanye's saying about that right now. I think he's a little bit misguided when it comes to a bunch of things that he's saying. But man, that guy knows how to make shoes and music and stuff. So I'm just such a big fan of Kanye's. And I know that he goes through phases and then he repents and he makes good and things kind of fix themselves down the road. And hopefully, you know, everything will turn around for Kanye and he won't be this version of Kanye for too long. Because, you know, Kanye, he changes. You know, Kanye goes through phases, like I said, and, you know, every 6 months it's kind of like a slightly different version of Kanye. He's always evolving. He's always changing. And sometimes he says things and he realizes he shouldn't have said those things and he goes back and he says other things. Like, you know, he's a human being. He's flawed and,
Kind of sounds like a regular guy, man.
yeah. Yeah, except he's extremely
Yee.
influential and just one of the
He's
greatest.
the Yee, man.
He's the greatest artist of his generation. He's the best. He's you know, he's big, man.
He's not
big
a yay,
he's
he's a
big in
yee.
my life. You know, like he's big to me. He means a lot to me. I got a lot of love for him. And I have trouble just turning my back on him completely, even though a lot
That's
of
a
the things he says I don't like, but there's just so much about him that I do like that it's just hard to say, nah, I'm done with Kanye. I'm not ready to cancel Kanye West. I got too much love for him. And also, like, all my shoes are Yeezys, so if I didn't have any kind of love for Kanye, I'd be barefoot, so that'd be bad, you know? I need to wear shoes. I got a lot of Yeezys too. The
Yeah,
fact that
and I want to call out.
Adidas dropped Kanye and everything, and there's no more Adidas
Ooh.
Yeezys. That's so
But I read
crazy
they're still
because I
going to
have
be
so
selling
many.
the shoe. They're just taking away his logo from it or something. Like they're still going to be selling some of the designs of the Yeezy. They're just like
Yeah, but
not
then
going to
there's
call them
no value
Yeezys.
in it.
Well, you can't call them
Which-
if they're not Yeezys, they're not Yeezys. You know what I mean? Like they
I
could
know.
look like a knockoff Yeezy, but that's a knockoff. It's not original. It's not the real concept. It's not the man deciding what the shoe's gonna look like. Like it has nothing to do with Kanye, you know. And if it loses the, like I've got Yeezys all over the place. I got Yeezys over there. I got Yeezys over there. I got boxes and boxes of Yeezys, guys. Like not only do I have the shoes that I wear, you know, on a regular basis, but I have a bunch of shoes that I've never worn before. And I'm talking about like, I don't even know how many. Like I've got.
Take it easy, Dave. Take
I've
it
got
easy.
4 or 5 pairs of Yeezy slides that I've never even worn. I've got
So
3
give 'em to
pairs.
me, man. I'll
I
take
got
them.
3 pairs of foam runners that I've never even worn. Are you kidding me,
just coming
AJ?
over-
Do you have
I'm coming
any
over
idea
Saturday.
how
I'm
much
gonna
this shit
put
is
rings
worth
with 'em.
now? I'm not giving you
I'll give you
shit.
$10. It's not
Oh,
worth
yeah,
anything now,
okay.
man. I'll give you like 10. Take it.
Yeah, they don't make
Nobody
Yeezys
wants to
anymore,
wear
man.
Yeezys no more.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait a few years, Fred. Wait a few years. Wait a few years, and believe me, these things
You
are going
go
to be
wear
worth a
that
lot.
with the other KKK members.
Yeah. I don't understand how that's going to work.
Yeezy.
A bunch of
Yeezy Street.
a bunch of black and Jewish guys in the KKK. Like, how does that work exactly, Fred? I don't
Sounds
think
like
they're
a
going to
comedy,
accept
man.
us. I don't think
I
they're
think I
going to
saw that
accept us
comedy.
into their little team, whatever they got
I think it was
going
stir
on.
crazy.
Anyways,
Good 80s film, too.
I got a lot of love for Kanye. I'm disappointed in what's happening with him right now. But, you know, I've been defending Kanye for so long, and now it seems like the whole world is attacking Kanye, so I feel like I have to keep defending him, even though, you know, a lot of the things
You
are
do it,
just
Dave.
not. I can't defend a lot of the things that he is saying. But I feel like a lot of people that never really liked Kanye are taking this opportunity to jump on Kanye, you know? I think a lot of people never liked Kanye, and now they're like, oh, now it's safe to say how much I hate this guy, you know? And I think that the media likes a bad guy. They like to point their finger and say he's the bad guy, right? For a while it was Elon Musk. For a while it was Joe Rogan,
Tony Montana.
right? I mean,
Tony
look at...
Montana said the same thing, man.
Yeah.
Who's
But you
the
know what I
bad
mean?
guy? I'm
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bad guy.
I get it, AJ. That's the reference I was making. I'm glad you picked up on that one at least. But you
I
know what
didn't
I'm
even
saying?
realize
Like,
it, but yeah.
for a while there, like, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing about how bad Joe Rogan was. You know, like, everybody, like, people that didn't care about Joe Rogan, all of a sudden were like, oh, Joe Rogan, he said this and he said that. It's like, have you ever seen an episode of his podcast? No, but I saw this clip and these quotes and this guy was talking about him and I read this thing, you know? Like, it seemed like mainstream media decided Joe Rogan was the bad guy for a while, and they were all over Joe Rogan. And now, like, you don't hear shit about Joe Rogan being a bad guy anymore. You notice that?
No, man, he's never been a bad guy,
People
man.
aren't doing op-eds and news stories about Joe Rogan and all the bad shit he's saying anymore. Like, that's not,
Yeah,
he's not a
like that Amber
target.
Heard.
He's not a
You're right.
target anymore, you know? And now Kanye is the target. And, you know, he's made himself the target, and that's okay. That's what happens. But I just feel like, well, it'll blow over because the media always loves a new target. You know, they're always looking at a new
Yeah.
target.
Free
And I don't
Tony.
like when they do that, when they pick a guy and then they just go, he's the worst guy in our society and we have to attack him. You know, and it's
It's kind of like Elon Musk. Tomorrow,
they go
man,
after
that's
Elon
exactly what's
Musk
happening.
too. Yeah.
Tomorrow he's going to be the new president or CEO or whatever you want to call it of Twitter. It's going
Yeah.
to be crazy, man. It's going to be like,
That's
he's
crazy.
like the new bad guy.
But
you
like
know
when
what?
his
That's
deal
the way it
with
is.
Twitter was falling through, right? Like he tried to buy Twitter. He said he was going to buy Twitter, and then it didn't work. When it was falling through, people were just rejoicing and making so many jokes, and you know what I mean? Like they couldn't. There are certain people that people look at and they're like, I want that guy to fail. And then when they have a failure, everybody jumps on top. You know, and Kanye is like that, and Elon Musk is like that, and Joe Rogan is like that. And, you know, they're all kind of skewing towards one side of, I guess, politics or whatever, but
Sucks, man.
that's just how things work. I mean, I'm just used to still haven't, you know, like I don't agree with the politics of any of those guys. You know, like I'm not with any of that. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like any of that stuff. You know,
Well,
I'm not a
easy
right
there,
wing.
Dave.
I'm not a right wing guy. Well, I'm just telling you what I am, man. You could be whatever the fuck you are. But I'm used to, you know, people that I like a lot, that I have love for, saying dumbass shit all the time. You know. So with Kanye, I'm used to it because I deal with AJ on a weekly basis. I got mad love for AJ, but man, does he say some stupid shit all the time.
Hey, listen, man, you say shit too.
You
I don't
know?
get mad at you.
And a lot of
Doesn't mean,
times
like-
it's very racist, but I let it slide because
What?
he's confused. It's okay. It's off the air that you say these things. It's not on the show, thankfully. Although sometimes you said things on the show, and it's like, oh, I hope you don't
No,
say
listen, I'm
that
going to tell
again.
you something. AJ is not the guy who gets banned mostly. It's usually starting first is Freddie, then it followed by Dave. AJ always gets the blame, but I'm like the least like controversial out of this show.
I don't get banned.
You guys are
Nobody
the ones that
bans
get
me.
us banned.
Oh, that's true. I'm
Uh,
banned from a couple places. You're right. That is
Yeah,
true.
you are, dude. You are. Not AJ. AJ's loved by everybody, man. I'm like Gandhi until he got shot.
Okay, thanks, guys. Good show. Thank you to
Good show,
Patrick C. Hamilton for the super chat. Appreciate you, Patrick. One of our longest standing members out in Regina, Saskatchewan. Thank you, Patrick. Have a great weekend, my friend. Thank you to Grimskull as well for the super chat. You're the super chat leader of the night. Thank you, Grimskull, for everything that you do behind the scenes for the Ringside Report Network. Appreciate you very much, my friend Grimskull. Good man. Go check out his YouTube channel. He is fantastic. Grimskull.
Yeah, what does he do?
All sorts of stuff for YouTube video production. Pixel Guru Grimskull. You got to check him out.
Wow.
If
Yeah,
you want
we'll
to learn
check him
about
out.
video production and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Grimskull is the man. Graphics and stuff. He helps
Wow.
out the Ringside Report Network. He is a good man, so go check him out as well. And that is it. We will be back here Saturday night to watch Jake Paul and Anderson Silva do battle inside the boxing ring. We'll do that watch-along on Saturday. Our last watch-along for UFC 280 is online right now. You can go check it out. Some great comments, by the way, on that one. I mean, we had a lot of viewers, which was nice, but we had a lot of really nice comments, you know?
It was a fun night, man. Or a fun afternoon, I should say.
This comment from MRA I wanted to read. He said, I never thought I would come across a bunch of dudes with some real brain cells and fighting knowledge. You guys are awesome. 90% of those so-called analysts were giving the most dumb predictions ever against Islam, LOL. So
Yeah,
that's nice.
true.
We have real brain cells and fighting knowledge. So
Listen,
thank
man, and
you
we were
for
calling
that. And then another guy said, these guys know MMA, no, not casuals. They predicted it way before. Hats off to you guys. We are not
Exactly.
casuals. We know the MMA game left and right. And let's not forget that at the beginning of this year, when we did our predictions for 2022, we all predicted that Islam Makhachev would be the UFC lightweight champion by the end of 2022. And we are correct. We see the game from a mile away. And
We
that's
all
why
agreed,
we are
man.
the best.
Yep,
We
we all
agree.
agreed.
And I'll be back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, with Johnny North talking some professional wrestling. Don't forget, Johnny will be wrestling Sunday afternoon in Laval against Drew Onyx. More info is on his Twitter page, at North Genesis. Go check out Johnny North on Sunday. AJ and I will be there as well Sunday afternoon in Laval, watching Johnny North do battle with the great Drew Onyx for the Torture Chamber Pro Wrestling. And, Johnny and I will be talking about that tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.